Welcome to In the Box Seat. I'm Ray Fewings. Well, a big week coming up in greyhound racing nationally. We've got the Solo Melbourne Cup, of course, on Thursday night. $200,000, and of course you don't need to be advised that the wheelers have got it by the throat. They've got 7 out of the 8 runners, and they've got 9 out of the 10 in total in the race. So the money will most surely be going their way unless N. Rewalk can do something famous. We've got some terrific racing on locally as well. Last Thursday night we had quite a number of heats of the Grade 5, and it's brought together some terrific clashes. I reckon Thursday night's program is probably as even and well balanced as I've seen for a long time. Our guest on In the Box Seat tonight is Doug Aikin, one of the veteran trainers in South Australia, who just dabbles with a couple of dogs these days. And we'll have a chat with him a bit later on. So as mentioned, the Solo Melbourne Cup's the big one on Thursday night. The Bold Trees Carnival Cup is another feature on as well. Ipswich, you've got the City of Ipswich Gold Cup final coming up. And at Cannington, the Young Stars Classic comes to fruition as well. Now, Chase's face in the crowd. If you've dined at Chase's restaurant lately, make sure that you check the grsa.com.au website each week and see if your photo comes up there, because we are taking photos of all their diners, and if it does, then it's dinner for 2 on us. You can come back to Chase's restaurant and certainly enjoy all the atmosphere of a great night out at the Greyhounds yet again. We've had quite a few of the cricket clubs there lately, and it's been a terrific fundraiser. Now, as far as the features we've got are concerned, we've got the Brian Johnston Memorial Heats on Wednesday for SA bred dogs. Of course, we've got the $4,500 Grade 5 feature final on this Thursday night. Now, the Honeys for Wednesday, they're tipping event 6, number 3, Emily Style. This is the white and black dog from the Emily Kennels, and it's strung together a few wins, a Gawler and here, and the Honeys think it'll go on with the job again in the Brian Johnston Memorial Heats on Wednesday. And they've gone for race 8, number 3, Pure Envy. Recent placings at Gawler were quite good and came from a long way back on the field, and the Honeys think that you can rely on this dog in the future. For Thursday night, they're going for race 4, number 2, Goosebumps. She's had a couple of runs back. She hasn't had a lot of luck. She's finishing off her race as well, and the Honeys think that she'll make amends this Thursday night. And the other one they've gone for is Vanilla Gorilla. Now that's race 5, number 3, Vanilla Gorilla. Ran, of course, in the Gawler Cup final. Didn't have a lot of luck. He got checked a couple of times and he came in 6th. But he's a pretty handy sort of a dog. The first 4s for the Honeys. Race 4, 2, 4, 3 and 7. And in race 5, 3, 4, 7, 5. The In the Box Seat selection for the week is race 11, number 3, Aston Usain on Thursday night. Of course, it won a heat of the Gawler Cup, led them up in the final and held on for a very good placing. So they think Aston Usain is the In the Box Seat tip for the week. Now mine, on Wednesday, in the third race, I think Emily Striker will win again. It's on a winning streak, Emily Striker. It's number 5. It runs wide, but can run a lot better than any of these greyhounds and only has to stay out of trouble. The other one I've gone for is in race 4, number 2, Foot Rot Flight. It's been trialling very well. It's up against a handy one in Victor Troy, but I think it'll still get the money, Foot Rot Flight. On Thursday night, race 1, number 8, Hannah McLaren. Alaxon's drawn nicely in 7, but I think Hannah McLaren, if it gets a clear run, will win. And the other special is race 9, bit of a risky conveyance, number 1, Persuading. To me, it does look as though it's boxed to win and should be able to poke up on the row, run about 30 and 30 and be very hard to beat. In a moment, Doug Aikin joins us as our guest on In the Box Seat. Well, Doug Aikin's been in the greyhound game a long time in South Australia. He's no stranger either to having good dogs. Give Me Dosh, one of the real stars of South Australian greyhound racing, about, I guess, 20 years ago. Welcome, Doug.
How do you do?
How long ago, Give Me Dosh?
2004, that's how you...
Oh, not that long ago.
No, that's right, yeah.
And a very, very fast dog. I think someone said to me the other day he's still got the fastest split ever to the judges box the first time.
He
right?
actually holds it. They timed him at 4:24, but they revised the clock and made it 4:27, and that's on par with, I can't think of the dog now, but...
not Brett Lee or one of those?
Oh, no, it's faster than Brett Lee and that, but no, he could flip. I mean, he's 1660 to the back too.
Yeah. No, he was a mighty dog, there's no doubt about that. He also campaigned interstate a few times too, and particularly in Sydney, I remember him going up there.
Yes, he went to Sydney and had no luck. He was successful in Melbourne, and he was, in my opinion, he got beaten the neck in the national sprint championships in Perth, but it was the 5:30 that beat him. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I thought he'd leave a few good pups too, but he wasn't really used much, was he?
No, nobody wanted him. I think he was overpriced, but that's out of our hands.
Yeah, it might be a bit different if he's around these days because they do respect the good dogs here a bit more. You and your wife Noreen have had a partnership in training greyhounds for how long?
We bought our first dog in 1970. And
Oh, so you're ready for the go?
oh yeah. Trevor Butcher lived up the street from us originally when we lived at Felixstowe, and got to know him pretty well. And he was Trevor as well as I do.
Yeah, well, he had some nice dogs back then.
Yeah, we trained a couple of his, but it was like everything else. And he got the ones that didn't make it.
Yeah, and always had a small kennel in that since then?
Yeah, we got up to 15 once.
Right.
We had a very good association with Craig Kneebone, and he was one of those guys that could breed dogs. And we had a lot of winners for him, but unfortunately he got jack of the game and got out of it.
Well, now you've got a couple that have come down from Sydney, Socozie, and I saw one run a terrific second Gawler Cup night, a black dog, flashed home.
Yes, that's Ladesh. That's a little sister to Socozie, and but she's a 400-metre dog, full stop.
Right. Socozie gets a little bit further?
Socozie will go the 500, but at the moment we haven't seen really the best of her.
A lot of people said to me, the sire, Go Bon Out of Sight. Never heard of it. What's the story there?
It's an American sire.
Ah.
That's all I know about it. When I first heard about it, I jokingly said that, like what was the local Labrador, and I very smartly got put back in the place.
Right. Yeah. So he's a dog of some note.
As far as I know, the only thing I know is his name and his American sire, and he's fairly high priced.
Right. And you still get a kick out of training the dogs. I know Noreen's been helping out with the Gap as well. She's the lady you take your dog to, and she tells you whether or not it's okay to go in with pets, etc.
Yeah, we still get a kick out of winning a maiden, winning any type of race. We still enjoy it, as long as we keep enjoying it, we'll keep going. But the Gap business is finished because with us, we always had poodles.
Yeah.
And we still have a poodle now, but it's more of a bunny than a poodle, and I don't think there'd be many dogs that would pass the test.
Fair enough. My poodle probably related to yours. Mine came from Jack Godfrey, so it may well be.
They're all related. They all come from opium.
Yeah. And well, mine's out of opium.
We did a lot of. I did a lot of work with Jack in his later days, helping him out in hand-wise and that, and we always got a poodle out of each litter.
Ours has been a wonderful dog. The trouble is he ended up with cataracts that couldn't be fixed, and he's as blind as a bat, but he's still going all right.
Yeah, well, he'd be what? That'd be 14, 15?
13, I reckon he is.
Yeah, no, the last one we had out of opium actually just, it had a breathing problem. And apparently that's akin to small dogs, and that was it. But that was 12 and a half, 13.
Well, Doug, it sounds to me as though these couple of dogs aren't the last ones we're going to see you with. You're in for the long haul.
Yeah, well, we've thought about it, but then what do you do?
What else would you do? Yeah. And if you sit down in an armchair, it doesn't take long to corrode, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't. It does not take long at all. But as I said, keep enjoying it and that, but we won't we just take whatever comes along and that. We don't go looking for dogs and that, we just take it.
Well, thanks for talking with us today, and I hope the next Give Me Dosh is not that far away.
Thanks very much.
Our special guest on In the Box Seat, Doug Aikin, and we'll keep an eye on Socozie and Ladesh, particularly Ladesh. I reckon when it gets nicely drawn, where it can get a clear run out wide, it'll bolt in one at Gawler over the 400. So that's it for In the Box Seat this week. Don't forget to tune in to Hot Dogs for Breakfast on Wednesday morning from 8 o'clock. And also all your racing information on grsa.com.au. Hope to see you here Thursday night.